Discipline your son while there is still hope, and do not desire his death. This scripture permeates in my spirit this morning after having to discipline my son for once again losing focus while getting ready for school. It crushes my soul to discipline him, and it truly troubles my spirit when it bothers my wife. However, I know deep in my heart that if I do not comprehensively discipline him, the courts will sentence him or the streets will kill him. I am living proof of this, and 2 of my brothers are dead proof of this. Although my mother did a great job raising me without my father actively in my life, it was very easy for me to manipulate her emotions. As a result, there were many life-threatening activities I got engaged in that only a father's comprehensive discipline could have prevented. Yes, it hurts being the bad guy when I'm not, but I cannot allow the emotions of my soul to give the enemy an opportunity to take my son.
A father is absolutely vital in creating a strong man because that man can utilize masculinity to correct bad behavior and at the same time provide a model for that boy to be able to look at. Having that model there and that boy seeing how a man is supposed to act significantly increases the chances of success. And if you don't have that model and that behavior is not checked, well, it will significantly increase the consequences of said life.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes.
What was wrong with him?
But there was still something missing.
I bet you I know what it was.
Stop it. Get some help.
I swear for God, these chicks want you to be corporate Tupac with a dash of dick-slinging Thanos. Let's proceed.
And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off. But when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain. So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection.
What's so hilarious to me regarding conversations like this is the amount of women that get mad at male podcasts for telling men to stop acting like Michael B. Jordan and to begin to start acting more like Future. Women like this love the adrenaline rush of inconsistency. For women like this, there was a such thing of being too correct about things, too accurate regarding things, too good about things in the way that you treat her. They crave that excitement. They crave that edge. Meanwhile, most masculine men just crave peace. To her own admission right here, the guy treated her like gold, but the guy should have treated her more like copper. Because if you treat her like a star, then I guarantee you she will treat you like a fan. Pay attention.
Was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband. And so I stopped trying to explain it and I just trusted my decision and I went on.
There's an incredible amount of modern women today that want to come on to the male content section of the internet and slip in ish such as who hurt you? Women that think just like this actively turn men into dogs. So as you guys know, I've been following this Jonathan Majors case and wanted to provide you guys with yet another update. And this comes from NBC News that the DA and police have discussed charging Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend with domestic assault, source says. Now, admittedly, upon reading this, I began to clap because generally in these cases where woman accuses man of assault, man guilty until proven innocent, and we've seen all of the work that Jonathan Majors has lost, all of his career that has been put on hold due to allegedly false allegations from his accuser, Grace Jabbery. And typically we don't see these false accusers get said charges put back on them. So let's go through and review. On the eve of Marvel actor Jonathan Majors' next court hearing on charges of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabbery, prosecutors and police had discussed charging her with domestic assault. A senior law enforcement official briefed on the matter this past Tuesday. However, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office said Tuesday in court filings that any discussion is over and has been since September. On September 8th and September 12th, the prosecution informed the NYPD that the people would decline to prosecute any charges brought by the NYPD against Ms. Jabari related to the belated allegations made by the defendant, Majors, regarding the incident on March 25th, 2023, the filing says. That Jabari's attorney was informed on the 21st that the Manhattan DA's office would not prosecute any NYPD charges against her. The filing effectively means that she will not be prosecuted for any crime in the case. Let me get this abundantly straight, and for all 32.5 women that watch this channel, do understand what we have here and what the modern man today is up against. Woman makes false claim against famous Hollywood actor. Famous Hollywood actor is taken in by the police for questioning. The story hits the news. He's fired from all of his jobs, sponsors. His agency lets him go. The entire digital world is up against him and assume guilty before proven innocent. Slowly but surely, additional information had come out regarding the entirety of the night, including witness testimony from the Uber driver, including security cam footage from multiple places showing that this woman was not harmed in any way. She was not distressed due to physical violence against her. Her claim of a lacerated ear and finger were completely bogus and disproven. But then from a mainstream perspective, all of this additional information was not reported. And then content creators like myself began to come out and report on in support of Jonathan Majors, which began to switch the entire narrative to paint an accurate picture on the type of crazy young woman that she actually is. The same DA, the same NYPD that went out their way to arrest Jonathan Majors and to charge him for misdemeanor assault comes back later and says, well, we just discussed it on the other party, when Jonathan Majors had evidence of cuts, scratches, and bruises, as was documented publicly. You have allowed this young woman to potentially ruin this young man's life, and you incentivize future manipulative, warmongering women into the future to do this again. The world is simply unjust. The world is simply unfair. But as men, we know that we are not owed fairness. We are not allowed the benefit of doubt. You have witness testimony, specifically from the Uber driver, that she is allegedly violent. You have photos, you have pictures from Jonathan Majors himself. Oh, but wait, you also have an accusation from the Hollywood actor. Why is just an accusation enough for a woman, but it's not enough for a man? Ergo, the numbers that we have regarding domestic violence are not accurate, because we know it's going to inevitably be swept under the rug. We know that false accusations will never be prosecuted. And we also know that there'll be a white knight, simp justice warrior / feminist that will always believe they're bullshit. Jonathan Majors, if I was to say anything to you, my brother, pay extra money to make her life a living hell. Pay money to make her suffer. Monetarily, there's not much that you can extract from her, but it's not about money. It's about consequences. Take her to civil court. She had no regard for how this was going to impact you. It's clear that she was apologetic through her text messages that she sent to you after the incident occurred. But that's not what taking accountability is. See, they've gone so far in their life without being held accountable for anything. So that's why they choose to do this. She should be made a complete and utter example out of. So guys, there's actually been an update to this case, literally as I was editing the previous video. So it turns out the terrorist in question, Grace Jabari, has been arrested, but won't face prosecution. Literally the definition of, damn, we understand that this is unfair, so at least let's put on a show to arrest her, but we won't hold her accountable. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office officially declined to prosecute the case against her because it lacks prosecutorial merit. A district attorney spokesperson said Thursday morning, that's today, the matter is now closed and sealed. Even though the DA's office has said for weeks that it would not act on claims that the terrorist in question was the antagonist in the March 25th incident, the insurgent in question turned herself in October 25th to the NYPD 10th Precinct in Manhattan. So it sounds like the NYPD issued a warrant for her arrest, but then the DA is like, nah, she's good, homie. So again, arrested, but nothing will be done. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Me and go to tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. I will forever not stand these scammers, these clout chasers, these money grabbers, these liars, these manipulators, those that don't care if they ruin your livelihood, all for the sake of their irrational emotions. They will make up stories to paint you like the bad guy. And the more that we do content like this, it transitions in their mind the risk of doing so. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell them man you can't jack. The big girl, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell them man you can't jack. The big girl, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. Dead bars, need a fibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they incline, we go way back. All they wanna be is just ruthless. Never seen warfare.